What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF back with another post-game recap. As man, those of us that survived this morning was extremely tough to stay awake, but we did it. And those of you that weren't able to watch the game, well, tune in because we're gonna recap what happened in the Lakers Nets. Now, the Lakers, fell to the Brooklyn Nets, 114 to 111, but it wasn't all bad. Actually, we should have won that game. However, we left our third stringers out there versus some of their starters, and that was the difference at the end of the night. Terrion Prince and DeAndre Jordan started the game, and they finished the game. So it doesn't really matter. It's preseason. At the end of the day, there's some good things that happen in this game and some bad things. I want to talk about the bad things first. So right now, how you guys doing, man? Good morning. I haven't slept since then, honestly. I'm a light sleeper, so it's hard for me to go back to bed after waking up early. So, yeah, I was basically after the game, I was just chilling, watching TV and stuff. But I'll tell you this, LeBron James was extremely impressive. LeBron James looks rejuvenated by all this time off he's had. I mean, his jumper's wet. He's attacking the rim easily. And it looks like he hasn't even kicked it into the highest gear yet. It just looks like he's chilling out there. However, LeBron James looked really, really good. And I was kind of bummed out. For some reason, I didn't think he was going to get too many minutes because he played the last game. So I didn't pick him up in my fantasy draft, but I should have for today. I did pick up, however, AD, and he looked equally as impressive. And one thing, we're starting to learn the tendencies of this team, the strengths and the weaknesses. And I will say this. Anthony Davis hasn't got his jumper going yet like he did last year in New Orleans, but it's only game 2 of the preseason, so I'm not going to hit the panic button at all. Instead, I'm gonna glorify him because even when his jump shot's not falling, he's still being effective. I mean, he still finished the game with what was that, like 16 points on almost 50% shooting. So he still has a great drop step. He can still take you to the rim. The footwork is impeccable. He still finds other ways to impact the game, even when he's not hitting that patent mid-range jump shot. So to me, Anthony Davis is just going to eat this season, regardless of if he's on that night or not. He's still going to get his. So him and LeBron, we know that. The one that surprised me this game that played surprisingly well, because the coach did switch up the starting lineup, and I'm going to get a little bit into that. The one that surprised me was Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo really surprised me. He came out really aggressive, which is what he's going to need when he's out there on the floor with LeBron and with Anthony Davis, because they're going to sag off of him. He's going to get a lot of open mid-range and three-point shots. He has to take those and make those. And this morning he did, to the tune of 18 points on 7 for 13 shooting. He also had, I believe, 6 assists. So he had an overall great game, actually. And now I want to talk about the starting lineup. The starting lineup, guys, I'm feeling good, by the way. Thanks for asking, bro. The starting lineup was Rajon Rondo, KCP, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Dwight. Now, this is a starting lineup that I'm sure that the coaches wanted to see what's up, but I never want to see it in the regular season. That's a recipe for disaster. First of all, KCP was horrible today and the last game. And I'm not going to trash him just yet because last year it took him like halfway through the season to hit his stride, but he should never start, especially alongside Rondo, who also struggles to get his shot, even though, this morning he was doing good. But JaVale needs to start as well. So KCP shouldn't start. Rondo questionable, depends on the matchups and stuff like that. But JaVale McGee, to me, and Danny Green need to start because they bring to the team something different with the starting lineup. For example, defensively, Anthony Davis and JaVale McGee, anytime they were on the floor together, their plus-minus was off the charts. And I'm not a numbers guy like that, but they just help the team so much when they're both on the floor because they could both defend, they could both switch off of each other's defenders. They could both rebound, block shots, and finish inside. And Anthony Davis could stretch the floor with the attention that JaVale McGee's getting off of lob penetration dribbles. So pretty much it makes JaVale McGee a target, and it gives Anthony Davis a little more space to operate. Dwight is no longer a starter in his career, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen the first 2 games. He slowed down a step. He no longer plays the same defense like he used to be. An elite defender, he lost his explosion and he looks a bit stiff out there. JaVale McGee, on the other hand, man, even though today wasn't his best outing for defense, him and AD just pretty much, they just click. But in my opinion, starting lineup should be I'm okay with Rondo sometimes, but if it's not Rondo, it could be Caruso or Bradley, or even Cook. Quinn Cook is another option who could stretch the floor. We haven't seen him due to injury, but KCP should never start. We have plenty of options at the two guard. You could even play Kuzma as a big two guard. I know some people will roll their eyes at that, but imagine a lineup of LeBron James, Kuzma, Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, and Rondo, or Quinn Cook, or Danny Green, whatever combination you want to throw out there. That's lethal in my opinion. However, like I said, KCP, he looked very sloppy, just forcing up dumb shots like always. Always look. Zach Norvell looked nice, and he brought us back. We tied the game. He should have got the final shot, but of course, trigger happy KCP is going to come up and get the final shot because he's the vet or whatever. But his IQ is very low, man. That's always what troubled me about KCP. When he gets hot, he plays really good sometimes, but it's like a blue moon every time he decides to show up. So that's tough. Stan Morris said, "I'm pissed we lost." Damn. Don't be upset, man. It's just preseason. We would have won had our starters closed the game and it was regular season. Our starters, when they were on the floor, we were winning for the most part. We were only trailing in certain parts, but we always got the lead back and started winning again. So I'm not tripping on the L. Like I said, what really lost us the game, if you want to go, tit for tat, is that the 3-point shot, they hit 20 of them. That's not going to happen every night. The number two thing that lost us the game is that we left our third stringers out there while they left some players they started with, like DeAndre and I forgot the other guy's name, but he looks like DeMari Carroll. He shoots threes. They left those two guys out there, and they pretty much closed the game out for them. I mean, DeAndre was blocking everything Caruso threw up. By the way, Caruso looked a little bit rattled at the end of this game, which is weird for him because normally he's clutch down the stretch of games. So, I mean, I'm not going to be hard on him just preseason, but hopefully, the next time he's in this situation where, the onus is on him to close out the game, he does a better job. But all in all, I was pleased with the team's overall performance. Zach Norvell, guys, he's showing me a clutch factor. He did this during the summer league. He won a game for us, hitting big-time shots down the stretch when we were trailing one game. And then today, with his defense, he's solid, and he knocks down shots. He could attack the rim. I mean, he's a very good player. We might have just found ourselves another second-round steal like we did with Jordan Clarkson back in the day. Remember, he was a second-round pick. So I like Zach Norvell. We're yet to see what our first-round pick looks like. What's his name? Alan Thornton Tucker. Yeah, we haven't seen what he looks like. But, yeah, Kaycock looks nice as well, Devontae Kaycock. I mean, the Lakers always do a good job of getting late-round steals. So, all in all, man, it was a good game. It was a close match. But if what's that young player's name that's trying to make the roster? Had he made that layup, we would have won it. It's that simple. But, of course, he's never been in that situation, so I don't blame him. He blew the layup. He had defenders coming out behind him. I mean, to be fair, he did get the steal. But then they decided to foul, which put them on the free throw line, and that's how we lost the game. Demetrius Jackson. Thank you, guys. Demetrius Jackson, pretty much, I won't pin it all on him and say he lost us the game, but because of that play, that sealed the victory for the Brooklyn Nets. And then, Caruso didn't really help with a couple of turnovers to end the game either. So, all in all, good performance. We got to get better for sure defensively on the perimeter. Now, we were killed last season. Last season, we were destroyed in the perimeter from beyond the arc. And this year, we can't allow that to happen. If this is an early indication, we need to make adjustments there from the perimeter defense. Now, Avery Bradley, for all the raving that was done about him, he's kind of gotten into foul trouble both of the games, and he's struggled to pretty much stay in front of his man without reaching too much. So, again, just preseason, he needs to tune that up a little bit. We all know he's a good defender, but he doesn't need to try to go for the steal at all times. Sometimes you got to have your intimidator badge, per se, in 2K terms, to be able to do damage and not get called for the foul. But all in all, I was pleased, guys. What did you guys feel about the game, though? Again, Anthony Davis was impressive. LeBron was super impressive. Rondo actually played really well. What did you guys think? Who was your guys' favorite player? Who did you guys hate? I already know the answer to that, KCP. But what did you guys think of the game? I'm going to head over to the comment section and see what you guys thought. He said, but Caruso was disastrous in the end. So, all right, that's what preseason's for. Get it out your system now. Have your bad game now. That way you can learn from it and, react better, read and react better down the stretch of real games. We've seen what Caruso can do. He's actually pretty good down the stretch, But, I mean, You can't trash a player for one bad game, period. And before the fourth quarter, he was playing really well. Christmas didn't see it. She said, I'm going to watch it today. I got league pass for the Lakers. That's what's up. My favorite player near the end was K-Cot. Devontae, he's a workhorse, as one of my Twitter followers said. He's really good, man. He crashes the glass. He finishes around the basket. Reminds me a lot of Tariq Black, and you could always make use for that type of player. Frank Vogel started a terrible lineup. In all fairness, this is preseason, so he's trying to see what he has. If he's doing this during the regular season, then I will critique him. But Frank Vogel did mention he was going to mess with some lineups. I said it in my pregame yesterday that I think Rondo could start. I didn't think that Dwight and KCP were going to start as well. But again, just preseason. This is a way to get some guys rest while others play and keep legs fresh as well. This is not a permanent thing. I'm sure that he's maybe even going to give Caruso a chance at the starting lineup. Who knows? But so far, I mean, Coach has been consistent. What I do like about Coach is he's calling timeouts at the right time. So he said Demetrius Jackson has some nice plays towards the end. Yeah, if he only didn't blow that layup where he stole the ball, we would have won, I'm sure. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Did you guys stay up? I hate we lost to backstabbing Kyrie and KD. Actually, to me, the biggest loss of the game was to Brooklyn. If this is an indication of how their season's going to go, it's kind of a shame we didn't get to see Kyrie. I wanted to see Kyrie, man. He's one of my favorite guards. He stopped being one of my favorite when he went to Boston, but now I can kind of like watch him as the basketball fan in me can enjoy his style of play again. But all in all, it's kind of concerning that he's having that face injury bother him so much. I mean, this was his debut, and as soon as the game started, I think Rondo inadvertently hit him with an elbow, and he called to be out. So to me, that was the biggest loss in the game. You don't never want to have an injury, especially to your main guy like that. So Lakers are the winners. We stayed healthy for the most part. He said Brooklyn can't shoot like that all season. Actually, if you saw last season, they were lights out from beyond the arc. They got plenty of guard rotation. They got a great guard rotation between Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, and now Kyrie. Back then it was D'Angelo, and they could actually light you up. But the Lakers have to do a better job of closing out for sure, because this is where we struggled last season. Teams that could shoot it like this, they can't have career nights on us. We have better perimeter defenders, but again, they have to be prepared not to reach and get themselves in foul trouble and exit the game early, right? Danny Green isn't being utilized properly. Shows when he's attempting mid-range pull-ups and step backs. LOL. Today's lineup and rotations were horrid, but that's what preseason's for. Absolutely, and I mentioned this in Twitter. I didn't like the lineups today. However, I'll give the coach the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure he'll make the proper adjustments for the next game. Now, starting next game, I think coach is going to start playing to win. I'm not sure if it's next game or the one after that, but there's a certain point in preseason where coaches just ramp it up and they start playing their actual rotations. They start, so they can get used to, building on the right habits as far as the basketball team. So, question: do you know when Kuz should be back? Don't know yet. We're going to get an update when our team returns from China in October 16th. So we should have an update then. He's going to have an MRI. He's either going to be cleared or not. Hey, what's up, Stan? He said, I love your show. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that, Stan. He said, Dinwiddie messed Rondo up. Dinwiddie messes everybody up. That's what he does. When off the dribble, he's the beast. Not a lot can stay with him, especially off of screen and rolls. He knows how to play that pick and roll, pick and pop with Jared Allen. I saw them a lot last year because they were fun to watch with D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, I like rooting for ex-Lakers. There's an attachment part of me, except when they play my Lakers. But there's an attachment side that kind of roots for them. So I watch the Knicks because of Julius Randle, especially now. I watch the Pelicans because they have Brandon, Lonzo and all these guys. I follow them. I even follow Cleveland for, Larry Nance. I'm a big Larry Nance fan, Jordan Clarkson, all those guys. So, I stayed attached to these players, hoping that one day maybe they can return to the lineup as role players. So pretty much, the Brooklyn Nets are legit. Spencer Dinwiddie does not play. That's why he got that big old extension. So I'm hoping AD shakes off the rust and gets the 3-ball together, Dan. Me too. And he's way better than he showed so far. But even without the jumper, he's still showing his dominance, which is more impressive to me. Now, we have to remember, they benched him early last season. So he's still kind of like, he hasn't got too much run in him since last year. It's been like what? Let's see. Since January, I think they started benching him. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's been like 10 months since the guy has gotten some actual run. So I'm not going to be critical on AD anyway because he's dominating regardless. But once that jumper starts falling, it's a wrap for the league. That's all I got to say. And it will. It might even start falling next game. I mean, he's a superstar. He can. They have these like high volume badges where they can just snap out of it. You know, the more they shoot, the better they get. That's how superstars are in real life. He said, "Never watched the game. What I missed." I'll be honest. This game wasn't as entertaining because the NBA is on some BS, man. They were blowing the whistle for everything. I mean, I hope we don't have a rerun of last year's BS calls that the Lakers weren't getting and stuff like that, because it's annoying. For example, this game, Dwight Howard got called for a flagrant foul for setting a regular screen. I don't understand what's going on. If I was coach, I would have challenged that. I don't know why he didn't use his challenge flag today, but that was really weird that the NBA decided to call that a flagrant. That's weird. He said, "Did y'all like Rondo's performance?" I did. Personally, I feel like people are too hard on Rondo. I understand sometimes he makes some boneheaded plays, and sometimes, for example, he tries to push the pace and he'll throw the ball away. He's not Lonzo. So we got to get used to him. He's going to make turnovers from time to time. Lonzo spoiled us when he used to go with the full court passes and he used to push the pace with his speed. Rondo's older. He's 33. He's not going to do that. So our pace has slowed down. If you guys have noticed, first two preseason games, we kind of slowed it down a bit. Now that might speed up when regular season starts and LeBron's going 100. It's probably going to speed up. Anthony Davis can run, LeBron can run, Kuz can run. So we still got some runners in the team. However, we're more of a half-court offense team, which to me is better because it's higher percentage basketball, more efficient. You get better shots. You don't turn the ball over as much. So, pretty much I like it. I like this new brand of play. It might not be as entertaining as running gun like the Pelicans, but you always, as a head coach, you have to adapt to the personnel on your team. We're better suited to go half court. Why? Because we can just dump the ball down to AD or play some pick and roll with LeBron and somebody else, LeBron and JaVale or whatever. We're better suited for that. Would you rather have BI or Kuz? Y'all know I'm a big Kuzma fan. But I think Brandon Ingram's potential is just a little bit higher. But still, I'll take Kuz, man. I'm very excited. He's actually my favorite young Laker out of the core just because he had the biggest killer mentality. So with this particular team, I think Kuzma's better fit. But if you're talking potential, age, and all that, we saw what Brandon Ingram was becoming before he got injured. So I would have to go with Brandon Ingram. Not all bias aside. For the versatility purposes, I agree. The Nets shot 48 from the three and still couldn't run away with it. That's because, like I said, the Lakers are slowing it down and they're playing higher percentage basketball. We're getting a lot of good looks at the rim. Now, this is just preseason, so you'll see LeBron. He missed some little layups here and there. Those are going to go in during the season. I'm not worried about it. Dan, how bad is the Quinn Cook injury? It's actually not bad at all from what I'm reading. He was available today, but coach just wanted to sit him out for precaution. I like a coach that takes care of his players, especially when it's preseason. So it's a good move. He said Luke Walton will have this team running and gunning. That's funny because he probably would. I mean, Luke Walton would have had a bunch of dinosaurs running and gunning. His IQ for basketball is not the greatest, to say the least. He said, half court, they double team AD. Rondo was open and made some shots. But other than that, what else does he do but stagger everyone else's flow? Defense is suspect as well. Well, I'm not saying he should be a starter, but I wouldn't complain if he was. His chemistry and pick and roll game with JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis is off the charts. So that's something else he does. I mean, he cuts really well to the basket. He's crafty around the rim. He hits him with the, behind the back fake layup. I mean, he has all kinds of moves in the arsenal. Let's not forget that Rajon Rondo is a champion. To me, he hasn't really fallen off. He has some, like I said, he has his moments where he looks really bad. But every player hits slumps. So to me, Rondo's going to be crucial, especially for playoffs. That three ball is going to have to stay consistent, though, if he wants to start. If not, I think Quinn Cook, Alex Caruso, one of those guys that can knock down shots would be a better option. Dan, what's your ideal lineup for the opener against the Clippers? Well, judging by the first two games, I'm putting out a defensive lineup because they claim to be the best defensive team in the league. We're going to show them that we are. So I put out, even though Avery Bradley hasn't been playing great basketball first two games, I put Avery Bradley out because he's still the most capable defender in the perimeter on this team. At point guard. Shooting guard, Danny Green. LeBron, small forward, power forward, AD, center, JaVale McGee. Off the bench, Kuz for now. If not, we could just put LeBron at point, Kuz shooting guard, small forward. I'm sorry, shooting guard Danny Green, small forward Kyle Kuzma, power forward AD, and JaVale McGee at center. So whatever the coach has, great combinations to play with. It's a good problem to have. It's going to be up to him to see what he's going to do, right? He said, Bron, Green, Kuz, JaVale, AD. He said, DTLF, did you block DeAndre Page? Never seen him on your feeds. I blocked so many idiots that have talked smack. So if he was one of those idiots that talk smack, I probably did. But I'm not sure. I don't even remember that name, to be honest. He said, Bron, Kuz, Rondo, JaVale, AD. There you go. That's a really good lineup as well. Dan, you know they're going to start Rondo the first game? I don't know that. I mean, very well, that could happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it does happen, but I don't know that. We're going to see what coach does. This coach so far, 2 games, 2 lineups. What I want to see is him find his actual rotation and stick with it. That's what I want to see. I want some consistency because we didn't have that with Luke Walton. Luke Walton was changing lineups every 3 games, and he was putting out some really stupid lineups. So, he said, I don't like Rondo and James playing together. Rondo with the second unit. That's another good point, and that's something that coach said he was going to try to do as much as possible. So that very well could happen. We'll see, though. Our third game is going to be very telling. If he goes back to the first lineup he did first game, or if he sticks with this lineup, or completely brings in a new lineup, that's going to be very telling of what the coach is doing. If he brings in a different lineup, then he's just trying all his options out. If he goes back to the old lineup, then he liked that one better. If he sticks with this one, then this is probably what he likes better, but I doubt it because this one had more of a slower start. Hey, what's up, Hitman? Long time no see, brother. He said, what's up, Dan? It's been real minute since I came through. Hope all is well. Everything's doing great, partner. Thanks for asking, man. How you doing? Good to see you, bro. Welcome back. I don't think there will be one set lineup. Well, I understand what you're saying, Kevin. Like, there's going to be injuries. There's going to be situational rotations and stuff like that. But for the most part, I want to see consistency. Like, we know we know LeBron, and we know AD is going to start for sure. That's consistency. If you can add one more player to that for sure rotation, then the lineup starts looking a little bit better. If that's Kuzma or JaVale or whoever, then, I have more trust in the coach, knowing that at least 3 out of our 5 players are set. You want more than 50% of your lineup to be pretty much secure in their role and know what they're going to bring to the team. I think Caruso knows how to utilize the alley-oop better than Rondo. Caruso's really good because, the defense has to stay on their toes. He can knock down a 3. He could also, attack off the pick and roll. But to be determined, Caruso he needs some improvement. You saw what happened late in this game, so I'm gonna need to see improvement from him if he wants a starting lineup. Well, it's up for grabs right now. Nobody knows who's going to be the starting point guard, but I'll tell you this: Rondo made a good case for himself today, at least in the eyes of Frank Vogel. I promise you that. I know he's not a fan favorite. I know everybody likes Caruso, but we got to put our bias to the side and just give Rondo props. He played really good today, like really, really good. So I think we have to start with great D: Bradley, Green, Bron, Kuz, and AD. But except Anthony Davis does not want to play center unless he absolutely has to down the stretch of games. So that's probably not going to be it. He said, what up, Dan? Repping Craneshaw. Keep up the work. What up with the perimeter defense from the guards? Thanks, Larry. And shout out to Craneshaw, man. I'm very familiar with the area. The perimeter defense with the guards needs to improve, but that's what preseason's for. Now, again, if we want consistency from the guards, the coaching staff's going to have to come together and figure out what lineups are going to play with the starting unit, second unit, and third unit. Once that happens, then I start expecting consistency from the lineup, from the rotations. Again, these guys never play together, so they're just looking for some camaraderie. I don't know that word, camaraderie or something like that. They're just trying to gel right now. So that's what I see. Defensively as well, you need to gel. You need to be able to communicate. You got to know where certain players are going to be. You also have to, and this is crucial, Danny Green is good at it. I'm sure they study film before the game and stuff like that, but they have to know every position player profile. They have to know how they play. They like going right. They like going left. They like to post up. They like to, call for screens and spot up for open threes. If you're playing Curry, you have to be prepared. For example, right? Let's say we're playing Golden State. You have to be prepared for like multiple screens and Curry just running around like a dang roach to the corner spotting up for threes. If you're a guard, you have to be prepared to fight through screens, to be able to communicate, to get your bigs to switch, and all that good stuff. Now, if you're playing somebody else, somebody like Westbrook that loves to penetrate, Westbrook loves to penetrate, but he also uses a lot of screens. So again, you have to communicate. You have to be able to switch properly. You have to make sure that you pick your poison properly. For example, if you're playing pick and roll with Clint Capella and Westbrook, you have to know that Clint Capella is not he can't hit the mid-range shot consistently or at all. I don't know. I don't watch his game like that. But you can't let him roll and be the man that catches a lob dunk. You can't do that. So your best bet is just to play with your hands up on Westbrook and force him into a tough shot. Stuff like that, right? Everything has to be broken down. I'm sure the coaching staff is going to help the players do their homework every night. I mean, if I'm the coach, I look at the schedule, and every night right before we face an opponent, and I'm telling Danny Green, all right, do your homework on CJ McCollum. Make sure that, you take away his, corner shots, whatever it is, So all in all, man, they just have to do their homework. They have to come prepared this season. Every game is a different story, right? Somebody else is trying to kill you from a different spot. Somebody else is trying to, have a career high on the Lakers. That's just we're the Lakers. So we have to be ready this season, man. I can't wait. Honestly, I think these guys are going to be ready for it. Hitman said, everything's good, brother. Just entered the last semester in college, so I'm grinding until December. I will officially be a college graduate very soon. Hey, shout out to Hitman. Congratulations, brother. Hey, man, that's a big accomplishment. Proud of you, kid. Keep going, though, man. Keep going, bro. Hey, Dan, Dwight has been trash. We have to get rid of him and sign Joakim Noah. Now, I wouldn't go that far. Dwight is not trash. I've actually been impressed by the way he's setting hard screens, the way he's rolling to the basket, even though it doesn't always come to fruition. And he's actually attacking the glass pretty good. So he hasn't been trash. I would have preferred Joakim Noah, but I think it's a little too late. I think that ship has sailed. Now, hopefully, Dwight is able to produce and be consistent. But look, man, again, this goes back to rotations. Once he finds himself with either Rondo off the bench or Caruso or whoever's going to be that bench guard, once they start clicking, that's going to be a nice little pick and roll game right there. And then Kuzma's going to be shooting shots if he comes off the bench. We're going to need Dwight to clean up the glass on the misses and all that stuff, Lonzo is not consistent. Not yet, but let's see how he turns out this year, man. This year, he doesn't have all the pressure because all eyes are on Zion. So quietly, I think Lonzo can have himself a career year. I really do. Oh, you're welcome, Hitman. I see you, bro. He said Dwight was pretty good in Charlotte. Yeah, but that was a couple years ago, so let's not give him that benefit of the doubt. Let's just see what he does for us. Let's see what he does for us, and let's judge him based off of that. I'm not going to say Dwight was good in Washington or Charlotte. I'm not going to go and reach way back there. So, Hey, Brandon McCullen. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the donation, man. First one of the day. He said, Dan will be feared by everyone. I appreciate that, bro. Fear the deer. I just gave you the Buck slogan. Dwight is garbage. Again, I mean, you that's your opinion, man. That's your opinion. He had back surgery. Noah's still available. He could be cut at any time, non-guaranteed contract. That is true. So if he doesn't continue to play hard, then yeah, anything could happen for sure. Dwight needs to be slapped around by Kobe again. Stop it. It's not that serious. It's only the second game of preseason. Dan, do you think the Pelicans can be the 8th seed? The West is tough, man. That's a question you should ask me again maybe after December, because around December, January, you start seeing the identity of each team. Preseason is not very telling, even though the Pelicans are playing really good in preseason. Again, Stephen A. made a great point. Teams aren't going 110% in preseason, so it's not very telling. It's not till the season starts all the way up to like December, January that you will see the identity of a team. So since the West is tough, I can name you some teams that I could almost guarantee are making the playoffs off the top. Look, it's going to be the Lakers. It's going to be the Utah Jazz. Probably the Spurs, just because of Popovich. The Denver Nuggets, that's 4. The Houston Rockets, that's 5. The Portland Trailblazers, that's 6. Who am I missing, guys? Help me out here. Who am I missing? Did I already say Denver? Yes, I said Denver. The Warriors. Yeah, I forgot about the Warriors. 7. So there might be, and I'm not even going to mention the Clippers because I hope they don't make the playoffs. But there might be one spot up for grabs potentially, but it's going to be a really hard spot to fight for. So, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough out west. I can't pencil nobody in other than my Lakers because, it's like that. He said the Pelicans, Kings, Mavs fighting for that A spot. I would hope that, the Pelicans make it because they would be really fun to watch in the playoffs. And if they do make it, I hope they go up against like the Clippers in the first round. That'd be great. So they could potentially eliminate them in the first round because I believe the young talent the Pelicans have, if they make it, hopefully they're not the A seed and get knocked out by us. Hopefully they're like the 7 seed and face like some other team and knock them out, right? Because they could be a surprise team, but I doubt it. They're too young. I don't know, man. I got to see more of them. Talk to me again around December. I'll give you more of a prediction. I want to get a feel for that team. He said, I kind of had a feeling most Laker fans would freak out about today's preseason loss, but it's okay. Love to see the passion as always, but we should chill. It's only our second preseason game. Absolutely, Hitman. And, that's why we're here for, to calm the people down and just let them know that, hey, this actually wasn't a bad loss. We could have easily won it, but it's all right. Doesn't count. He said, greetings from Italy. Dan Kuzma, a starter or 6-man? Greetings, brother. How you doing? Shout out to Italy. Sorry. Is Kuzma a 6-man or a starter? That's up to coach, man. Honestly, I just want him to get good minutes so that he can have a breakout season. I love me some Kuzma. Y'all know how I feel about Kuzma now. I went to his career game where he dropped, 40-plus points in 3 quarters? I was there wearing my Kuzma lucky socks. If you guys haven't seen that vlog, go ahead and check it out. But I love me some Kuzma. I feel like he's about to go off. He just needs the minutes. Whether he's starting or coming off the bench, I was actually having these conversations with my friends, and I tell them it might be better for him to come off the bench because he then becomes a number 1 option instead of number 3 or 4 behind LeBron and them. So he said Kuzma's looking like Scottie Pippen. That's high praise. Dan, I'm predicting the Lakers versus the Nets to 2021 finals. I mean, that's high praise for the Nets. There's plenty of competition out east. I mean, don't forget about Giannis. That's a freak right there. And then you have Philly, so there's some competition out east. Dan, why is there no urgency to Dwight's game right now? Do you think that he will improve? He didn't seem to be closing down many threes considering his height. Did you notice this? Dwight's game, it is what it is, man. He's just that guy that's going to pretty much hopefully bring the energy night in and night out. He has to show the passion. I didn't notice that he wasn't closing out too many games, maybe because it was early in the morning. I don't know. But what I did notice about him, that he was crashing the glass. He was trying at least. And he was trying to play high-efficient basketball. He had a nice little drop-step move in the paint there in the fourth quarter before they benched him. And that was pretty much it for his game. He didn't really show too much. But again, remember, Frank Vogel's tinkering with the lineup right now. So that could throw off players as well. But all in all, man, so far I'm okay with Dwight. I'm not upset at him. I'm not super hyped about him. So I'm just neutral about him. And I'm going to be like that the whole season. He has to prove himself to me because, remember, I was one of the ones that didn't want him on the team. However, his energy and his attitude has changed, and I'm kind of starting to root for the kid. But hopefully he gets his stuff together and he has a good season for us because we need him. But that's a good question, man. I'm glad you guys are noticing these little things. That's what preseason is for. We'll see. Hey, man, said, can't wait till Kuzma plays again. I'm so excited to see what he will do in his 3rd year. And usually that's when young players make big strides. Absolutely, Hitman. 3rd or 4th year, I always say that's the year for the young stars to shine brightest. But I agree, man. Hopefully Kyle is able to shine and nothing's going to hold him back if he just stays healthy, I think. Would y'all trade Kuz for Beal? I mean, love me some Kyle Kuzma, but if you can get a guaranteed start, I'm sure the Lakers would do that. I love Kuzma, though. I want to hold on to him personally. But I wouldn't be mad if that trade went down because you're getting a bona fide all-star that's going to all but solidify a championship. I think Kuz could do that too. He could help us solidify a championship. But he's so young and improving that sometimes when you have a championship contending team, you have to make certain moves. So, yeah, that would be a trade that I think would go down. It would make me a little bit sad because I love me some Kuz, but I won't be – I'm telling you what, I'll be wiping my tears when we're raising that Larry O'Brien trophy because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Hey, don't spam the channel, Chris. I'm only going to warn you once, bro. I understand your message and all that, but don't spam it. Don't repeat the same message. Other people trying to get their opinions across and stuff. He said, Rams, no championship. Dodgers, no championship. Lakers need to bring a championship to Los Angeles. It's for a parade. I agree, bro. And to your point, Kershaw is so disappointing, man. I was so upset last night. You're good, bro. You're good. I just had to let you know. Kershaw to me has turned into the James Harden of baseball. He's great in the regular season, breaking records, all this good stuff. Come the playoff time, he disappears. I don't know what's going on. Somebody needs to gut check him. But it's very disappointing. Yes, my Rams lost last year, and then the Dodgers lost last year as well. And this year they got eliminated early in the playoffs. It's just tough, man. Lakers definitely going to bring it home. I have a feeling. Dan, who do you think is the NBA's greatest of all time in your opinion? If we go by the numbers, if we go by just the greatness, the marketing, and still selling shoes and making an impact and just being a legend, probably Michael Jordan. But if you want to go about my personal opinion, who I believe is my GOAT, my greatest player, I think Laker Nation already knows. If y'all want to answer for me, go ahead, man. But you already know, man. You know who it is. And, he was a Laker from the start to the end. There you go. Thomas knows what's up. Dan, what's up with the Giannis brothers? Is he injured? He is injured. And they're keeping him out just for a limited time. I don't know when he's going to play, actually. I don't know much about his injury. I don't want to give out any I don't want to give out any misinformation. But hopefully he's back and we can see him play a little bit before he goes to G League. He said, what? Kobe was a Charlotte? Not really, because he never played a single game for them. So to me, he was a Laker from start to end. But I see what you're saying. He was drafted by them technically. You say Kobe, but Kareem and Magic are right there. I agree. They're right there. However, personally, for me, it's Kobe. I didn't get to see those other guys play. It's not their fault. So my list is different than everybody else's. I mean, most people, they go with their generational GOAT. And for a lot of people in this generation, the younger generation, they say LeBron, which I understand because they never got to see Kobe in his prime. So I understand that. And that's something I didn't understand when I was younger. I used to trash people like that. I used to argue with them a lot. And not even on the chats, because I'm not a chat arguing type of guy once in a while. But in person, like I'm a smack talker in people's face. We used to get into fights over Kobe versus LeBron when LeBron first came in the league. So, I used to let people know. We used to, in the basketball court, we used to argue while playing. And then, I would hit shots in their face and be like Kobe. They'd hit shots and they'd be like LeBron. So, I mean, all in all, man, very, very opinions vary. If we go by the numbers, though, I think Jordan would be the ultimate GOAT. Kobe's my GOAT. Am I from LA? Absolutely, man. Compton, California, the 310 West Corregidor Street. Yeah, man. I'm from the CPT, bro. He said K-Cock is a keeper. Now, we don't have room on the roster for him, but I like him a lot. Let's see if we keep him in our G League squad for sure. Did you hear Rich Paul's comment about Giannis? Yeah, I did, and I don't appreciate Rich Paul dissing a potential future Laker. And I know a lot of Laker haters are going to say, hey, you're dreaming or what are you smoking or whatever. But come on, man. When the Lakers do this all the time, we always get the greatest. What do you expect? Laker fans are spoiled. We're spoiled. So as long as I'm spoiled like this, I expect Giannis to at least look this direction if LeBron is retiring by then. So I say this, Rich Paul, you better check yourself, man, because that could be a future Laker and you're dissing him. It's not a good look. We might have to cut Rich Paul from the Lakers, but that's not going to happen. But I'm saying, like, technically, man, he should have never dissed Giannis like that. Oh, you guys agree with me? That's what's up. He said, if Iguodala wants to sign with the Lakers, who should the Lakers part with? Cousins? Probably, man. Yo, Dan, I live in Compton too. That's what's up, man. So you know where Park Village is at, right? I used to live in Park Village, right across the street from the Compton Airport. Where are the Knicks going this year? You know what? I hope the Knicks succeed. I want them to see them make the playoffs at least. I'm excited to see Julius Randle have a team of his own. I think this is what Julius has been waiting for since he got to the Lakers. Remember, when he got here, I think we already had Clarkson. I don't remember exactly the order, but I think we had D'Angelo as well. And you could tell that Julius wanted to be the alpha, and he would get annoyed when these guys would force shots and not pass on the ball. And sometimes he would even have some really knuckleheaded plays as well because he was forcing the issue. But now, guys have to trust him. He's come of age. He's proven himself last season. And I think this is going to be a special year for Julius. So I'm excited for him. When Kobe played, he had the IDGAF mentality. He knew he was the best. Yeah, and that's what I miss about NBA players, man. There's not too many of those. There's not too many of those type of players that pretty much just put their head down and go to war, go to battle every single game. I don't want to cut Cousins. I still think he has a chance to come back by playoff time. If he comes back, that'll be huge, man. But as of right now, with the whole court thing, I don't even know if he's going to have an opportunity to come back, man, sadly. You know, I was really looking forward to see DeMarcus. Like, that would have been really fun to watch with this team. Why aren't the Lakers playing Giannis' younger brother? He's out with injury, Kiki. So, yeah, that's why. It depends if the Lakers trade for Iggy. They do not have to cut anyone. Now, if Iggy is a buyout, then they have to cut. Well, either way, you're losing a player, Kevin. So I guess technically people are saying, who are you going to exchange to get Iggy in return, right? Which is either cut or trade, the same thing. You're giving up a player. So, I mean, KCP continues to play like this, man. We could sacrifice him, bro. We could perform a ritual and just hand him over. No, I'm just playing. But no, seriously, KCP needs to get his game up because he really gets on my nerves, man. He does. And I'm very patient with players. However, KCP has been doing this since he arrived from Detroit. It's almost like he's very unpredictable, man. He's like J.R. Smith, but without handles, and it's all bad. But anyways, guys, it's going to wrap it up for me and this post game. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now, just a little bit of news. I won't be able to cover, unfortunately, the Saturday game, the pre-game. But, however, after I watch the recap, I will come on post-game with you guys. I'm not sure the time yet, but I work on Saturday morning at that hour, so I won't be able to watch it live, unfortunately. Therefore, I won't even do a pre-game. But I'll catch you guys for sure after that game, probably later on in the afternoon. If I get to watch it again on Spectrum, I definitely will. That way I can break it down in depth with you guys. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Thank you. And look forward to seeing you guys again on Saturday. Have a good one, guys.